Should you build new or should you remodel? I'd like to answer those two questions and give you the pros and cons. Hi, this is Keith Kelch with How to Build Your Own Home. I like living in downtown, old communities, but that's your preference. The first thing you have to ask yourself is the community that you want to live in. Like I said, I like an older community, something more established. The pros with building or adding on or remodeling are there are some things you just don't consider. One of the biggest ones is, of course, the community, established community. I live in an older neighborhood. But one thing you may not consider is your impact fees are much lower. When you remodel or add on to a home, your impact fees are going to be typically much lower because it's an established home. You've already paid your impact fees, your park fees, your road fees, your parks and recreation fees. All those fees, the sewer fee, water fee, all that's already been paid for a long time ago when this 1919 home was first built. This is my home, and I love to add on. I love to remodel. That's just my preference. I love to build new. I'll talk about the pros with regard to that. But when it comes to remodeling, there's a big plus with adding on and remodeling. Typically, older homes have larger backyards. That's a big plus. Your impact fees are lower. The other advantage to that is that you can take more time to build. The wife may not like that, but you've got a lot of time to be able to do that. You can do things in steps, and cash flow, really a big positive. Here, when I first remodeled this 1919 home, I had a big, huge front porch. I enclosed it because I needed more space. It was originally 700 square feet. I added another 700 square feet, and I increased it to 1,400 square feet without changing the footprint. So it allowed me to go from a 2-bedroom, 1-bath to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath just in the front part of the house. Then, of course, we added the back. I didn't have a garage. My wife didn't have a real functional kitchen. So we did the front of the house, the back of the house in addition. But you can see way down the line there, because I have an extra deep backyard, I had room to put on a garage, which will have a loft above the garage. Again, the impact on fee on that was just a few $100s. If I were to build that as a tiny home on a lot all by itself, the impact fee on that alone would have been $18,000 for this local area. So buying a lot with a lot of space on it, downtown somewhere, where you can add on to it, there's a lot of advantages to it. I did all the plumbing, electrical, gutted the whole thing, and then lived in it after that. The downfall, the cons with regard to this, is it does take a lot more time. You can do it cash flow, but if you see you're going to be in a place for a long period of time, you can take your time and you can do it the way you want to. Building new means you've got to get it done. And typically a lot of subdivisions want that landscaping done. They want it all finished off. You can't do any unfinished areas. Whereas in a home like this, I can not finish off a particular area and kind of get to it eventually. I love to build new as well. It's so fun because you don't have to tear out. When we tore this one out, there was no upstairs there. And you can see the dormer, the shed dormer up at the top there. We had to cut that in and put a whole new dormer in there to create an upstairs. There was no upstairs in there. Remodel, tearing out, the demo, not fun. It takes a lot of time. But if you're imaginative and you have a lot of muscle on your own end to do that, you can do that and take a little more time to do that. The biggest advantage of all is your community and your lot sizes. In older communities, you're going to typically have a larger lot and you can do a lot of imaginative things with those lots. New subdivisions, typically you're going to have a smaller lot size and you're going to have to get that thing done. Just some thoughts that I wanted to share with you on. I know a lot of people are talking about just remodeling now with the economy the way it is and just fixing up the home. But if you have a larger lot, you can do a lot of things. Keep in mind, one of the things that a lot of cities look for is they don't want to see multifamily living. So they're going to make you attach an addition to the home. Like I've done that back there. I've actually attached that to this home. Originally I wanted to have it detached, maybe have a breezeway or no breezeway. A lot of cities are not going to want to see that happening. They're going to want to see it a whole single family unit connected as one building. It's their idea of thinking they're going to stop multifamily. They don't want to see a lot of rentals and stuff like that. Anyway, you can do a lot of interesting things. I'm a fan of remodeling. I'm a fan of all the different things you can do, especially in downtown. As soon as I came in, a lot of other homes were demoed and new homes have gone up. So it's really added a lot of flavor to downtown St. George. So my thoughts on that. Again, find the community that you want to live in. and make that be your home.